The female CEO came home from a business trip and was stunned to find that her husband had taken advantage of her absence to bring his mistress and their illegitimate child into the house, and he even demanded that his wife transfer the house they were living in to the illegitimate child as his wedding home, because under the law, the husband's child born out of wedlock also had the right to inherit their joint assets. When the wife refused, the husband and his son took her to court because the man knew that in their 30-year marriage, the longest they had ever been apart was less than a year, so his wife could never have secretly given birth to a child behind his back, and she had no children outside the marriage who could fight for their shared property. But what he did not know was that his wife actually had more than one child out there. It turned out that on the day they married 30 years ago, the man insisted on being a dink family, and to support him, the woman gave up the chance to become a mother, only to be betrayed by her husband when he fathered a child outside. The man claimed he had been drunk that night and lost control, but his words were nothing but lies. When he was younger, he was known for holding his liquor with ease, so there was no way it happened like he said. And sure enough, the son soon revealed he wanted this house for himself. The woman snapped that he was dreaming. She had worked half her life to save that money and would never hand it over to an illegitimate child. The young man was unfazed, saying he was the only legal heir anyway. The man immediately stepped in to support his son, saying they had been childless for 30 years, and having a child around when they grew old would be comforting. He thought his wife was still naive enough to fall for that, but the child had no blood relation to her at all. When persuasion failed, the man played his trump card, saying that if the woman had children outside she could bring them home too, and they could also inherit her share of the assets. He knew perfectly well she could not have children outside, yet he said it on purpose, clearly trying to take everything for himself and his son, squeezing out every bit of her value. Since her husband was so ruthless, she decided she no longer needed to be sentimental. The next day she went to consult her best friend, but when she returned, she found her husband had brought the mistress' entire family home. She was not angry at the sight. Instead, she calmly took out her bank statement, ready to discuss how to divide the money. The group could not have been happier to hear that. The woman then said unhurriedly that the account held $2.4 million, and after paying off the mortgage they would still have $1.9 million left. Losing tens of thousands instantly made her heart ache a little, but the husband's son thought paying off the loan early would ease their future burden. While they were still lost in their fantasies, the woman suddenly shattered their hopes, saying that the money was joint property of the two spouses and should be split equally by their respective children. Before anyone recovered from the shock, the woman immediately made a call, asking her best friend to bring in her children.